Yeah. Long time coming to hear that. It's actually a few days later coming back out here. I've ordered new valves, but those valves aren't due in until Monday, and I'm trying to get this done for a few days later than that, so got to make a bit of a rush here. So I'm going to disassemble it, start inspecting, cleaning everything today, so when the valves get here I'm ready to go. So first thing to do is get this retaining clip out of here. To do that, I've got to bend the locking tabs out of the way, and then 2 10 mils pull this off. And then actually what I'm able to do is my crankshaft installer does have an M10 125 pitch bolt, so I should be able to put this in, set these steel bars on here, and then lift out the center with the lobes to actually be able to drop the valves out pretty easily, compared to some of the other ways I've done this with a plate and a pry bars kind of keep squeezing. So might have a little bit of luck there. These tabs are really, whoever got in here and did these tabs, they really got behind them. Here we go. There's the retaining bar. And this locking bar, you see there's a little detent in here, goes on top just like that. We'll set that there. So now I should be able to, in theory, pull this up and out of the way, allowing me to get my valve tool in. All right, in case there's surprises, this is why we're doing it now. I feel it coming out. Okay, what I just did in 5 or 6 seconds there on other motors has taken me 30 minutes. So I removed the plate and then pulled out this. So I should be able to, and I'll put my bolt back down here to give myself something to pull against, but I should be able to lift this right up. Once I do, these rocker arms will get out of the way so I can get the valve removal tool in here and press down on these keepers and get the valves out and make an inspection. Another thing you'll notice here is there's these kind of cutouts in here, so when you go to drop this back in, put one of the lobes in each of those cutouts and it'll drop right back into where you need it to. And if you can see the base of the rockers there. This can now, they can swing right down in, so you see it swinging in there. That gives me all that space so I can get my tool in. So let me put my valve removal tool in there now. Now the valves aren't flat, there's a little bit of a detent there, so this sits down in nice. And then I can start to apply some pressure up here. seems to be sitting okay now. It really kind of popped once I put some pressure on it and fell back into its seat. Interesting. See how well everything drains if I do this. Spin the plug back in here. So with the plug in, everything plugged off. If I put some easy out in here, I'm watching to see how this might drain. It's not draining. I'm going to tip it down here around the ring, the intake. It's not draining. Tip it around the exhaust, which the exhaust was the one that was stuck. Just getting the liquid to flow right around it there. It's not draining. I think we just had a stuck valve. Let's move forward putting this back onto, well, we gotta set our valves now, but let's move forward putting this back onto the quad. Let's start dropping some things back in here. Again, just use that bolt. Nice and easy. And let's put our retainer back in. Alright, now I gotta hop on and find out what the valve clearances should be for the intake and exhaust. On the intake, go 0.0025 to 0.003. On the exhaust, I'm seeing in forums go 0.003 to 0.004. So I'm going to go on the larger side on the intake. I'm going to go 0.003, and I'll go on the larger side on the exhaust as well with 0.005. And we'll dial in from there if needed. Intake. All right, 0.003 for the intake. We got some room. Just a little bit of drag. Right there. Let's see if I can lock it in and recheck it. .003. Little bit of drag. I like it. Other side. Let's get this spun down, and we'll go with the 0.005. Yep, a little bit of drag. Okay, let's bring some of this over to the bike now and start getting ourselves set up to put this back on. Let us see. I don't have my nasty working pants on. Oh, and I've got to put my other guide in before I put the head on. Otherwise I can't get it in. There it is. Okay, so now I put these zip ties on so I don't lose this down in the motor, because again, that would be lousy. Now we are at top dead center, and on this gear, once we get this gear sitting in as we need it, we just have to get it to set on to the little divot, I guess you can call it. Okay, come on, get on the sprocket. There we go. Look at that, look at that. Okay, we're ready to get our stator back on. This should feed right on over a washer that sticks out. Down here, if you recall, is our gearing that engages the starter. Here's the other side. There's a washer sitting right there. Here goes. Hey, babe. Actually, it's going pretty good. Stuck valve, not a bent valve.
So that means you don't have to replace it.
That's what I think. I'm about to do a compression test here. I'm hoping I might get a chance to turn the motor over tonight.
Yeah.
If there's compression, I might have this on the trickle charger. I gotta put oil in it, so I got a couple of things to do first.
Sounds good. Well, I'm gonna go shower.
Okay.
Okay, honey, let's go for a quick little walk. Let's go for a walk.
I'm not gonna put my pull start on for the test. Obviously my carb isn't on, my exhaust isn't on. My timing is good. We need oil. So a fully dry motor like this one calls for 2.2 quarts. Manual calls for 10 weight 40. We do want to use a wet clutch safe oil, which this is. I think I've got a funnel somewhere. Hey, all right, I do have a funnel. Quart number 1. And by the way, Josh, this is the oil you gave me here. You didn't know it, but your oil is actually funding your birthday present. Surprise. It's good oil, by the way. Okay, we are in neutral. We have neutral indicator light. I can now turn the motor over by hand. That's something we couldn't do. Oh, I'm so nervous. Not gonna lie, super nervous. I'm just gonna hit the button. It should turn it over. There's no spark plug in, anything like that. But we should hear it turn. Oh, oh my goodness. Yeah. Long time coming to hear that. Wow. It's compression test time. Here we go. We are at, I'm going to call it 90 PSI. Probably a fairly dry cylinder. I'm going to put a little oil down in there and do it again. See if that comes up any higher. 1, 2 squirts. These are, again, the original valves. We didn't do a valve job, reseat them, anything of that nature. So, might be a little low. Oh, look at that. With a wet cylinder, 150 PSI. she'll run. She will run. Oh, look at that. Yes, yes. Let's put our spark plug back in. Let's finish hooking this up in preparation for seeing if she will fire. So we're gonna have to move to exhaust and move to carb. Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, I am losing my marbles with excitement right now, but it's time to stop. Got some other things to do this evening, so this is gonna have to wait another day to see if she starts, runs, and idles. But the compression test today was really encouraging. Motor is turning over 150 psi of compression. Electrical is good, so there's no reason this shouldn't fire. I mean, unless we've got a really gummed up carb. We came a long way today. Finding out that the valve was a stuck valve versus a bent valve was huge, and looks like none of that's going to matter, which is great, because my order for valves isn't going to come in until like the day before we want to get this surprise rolling. So nice breakthrough. Nice to have the oil on hand. Thank you, Josh. I do need to put gear oil in the back and some odds and ends here. Next time we've got to get the fuel tank on, we've got to do fuel lines, we've got to do gear oil. I'll probably put the bars on just to have everything out of the way while it's running. I don't want to forget to put my engine, my top engine mount on, that engine stabilizer on. And also hanging, what we've painted is the rear skid plate and the tow hitch and all that. That's got to go back on. Plastics, all that have to go back on. I'm anticipating there is going to be an exhaust leak right around here. We'll probably end up taking this off, wrapping this with an exhaust wrap to really seal it up nice and tight, and then leaving that. We didn't put on the exhaust gasket here. Sometimes these fit, sometimes they don't. Today it didn't fit, but today was a really nice day. Hit 70 degrees out here, which was really great. So nice day for working outside. I wasn't anticipating I was going to get this far. I didn't put on my work in the mud pants, but I don't think I ruined these. I didn't get any oil on them. So we're going to stop. We're going to clean things up for a little bit, and next working day we should hear this thing fire. Yeah.